Tell me like a Hellcat.
What's up, guys? I am back. It is Tim here with SNSTR Auto. I'm back. Of course, I start recording and my phone goes off. Rapid fire style, even. So today, I'm just going to start doing it where I'm going to do a vlog for every Sunday. I'm going to try and get it uploaded for every Sunday. My internet sucks, so it usually takes longer. Today, I'm actually on my way to Regina to go to Bucks Auto to go and pick up some, hopefully pick up some parts for my Colorado, the taillight, the center console, stuff like that. I went on there to check for heads for this car, and I was like, well, what do they got in their inventory? Because it's all changed up. The website seems to work now. So I was scrolling through, and they've got a Colorado there, so I'm going to hopefully get some parts that I need from that cheap, because it's my winter beater. So I just want to fix it up, like the taillight's cracked and the center console lid's all jacked up and I'm missing a hubcap. So maybe I can get lucky and get the parts that I need. Other than that, not 100% certain if I will be doing the dyno day. I'm burning a fair amount of oil. We think we figured it out. I got to get another little filter thingy so I can put the breather on that, and then I'm going to route those elsewhere away from the hot exhaust. So hopefully that's part of the issue, and I can get that repaired and fixed fairly quickly here. So then I can run a hell of a lot better. Other than that, I guess I'll just do recaps, and then after the recap, I'll just do a little snippet about some sort of discussion, because I kind of want to discuss about. I've always been a fan of anime, like Japanese anime, like Initial D and Midnight Wangan, and recently I've started watching Midnight Wangan again, and it started to kind of the story in it. If you haven't watched it before, it's worth finding to watch it. It's actually pretty good. I've had people that are like, oh, I'm not into cars, that have gotten involved and they're watching it, they want to know what goes on in it, because there's actually a really good story to it. I won't really get into specifics of it, but it involves the Blackbird, the Wangan, Devil Z, and there's 8-9 people that are all attached to the basis of one car, and it's really cool. One of the returning things is why do you go to the Wangan? Why travel at these high speeds? What are all these people looking for? And that's kind of what I want to discuss today, is what are you looking for when you modify a vehicle? Are you looking for better reliability? I guess part of it comes down to, I read an article the other day on Speed Hunters. Not sponsored, don't worry. This isn't sponsored content. I read an article on there, and it was talking about the new Ford Focus RS, and I forget who did the article. I'd have to double check. I'll put a link in the description to it down below. But they were talking about, do newer vehicles require modification? So I guess it really comes down to, what are you modifying for? Is the big thing to think about. Why do you modify your vehicle? I know my last rant kind of idea was about, don't modify your vehicle in extremes for racing. Just go out, race, and get used to it, and make adjustments as you go. But people are always going to put another rapid fire. But people are always going to put parts on their car. They're going to it's just what people do. People want different wheels, or they want an intake and an exhaust because they want to change the note of it. Really, phone? But I guess the big thing is just people, why do you modify? What do you do? What is it that you're looking for out of your vehicle that you're modifying it? This vehicle, I did the basics. I had a straight pipe exhaust, which was ridiculously loud. And even at that point, when it was straight piped, I still had 2 cats and a resonator, and it was still ridiculously loud. And then the intake and stuff like that. I did little things like that. One of the first things I actually did to this car was a CD deck, because it came with a tape deck. I owned 3 tapes, so I needed a CD deck. That same CD deck is in here. 9 years later, I still have the same CD deck, because it does exactly what it is that I need it to do. It plays CDs, it plays MP3 CDs. It doesn't have Bluetooth, it doesn't have all that fancy stuff. So I've thought about it in the future. I do want to be able to enjoy my car better, so I've thought about putting in a newer deck that's got Bluetooth and stuff like that. I don't think I'd worry about getting an auxiliary input because everything I own is on CD. I have no problem going and buying a cheap 5-pack of on-brand blank CDs and burning an MP3 disc and filling it with like 140, 50, 60 songs and just putting it on random and just enjoying the music. But I guess that's a big thing, is why do you modify? Do you modify? Because one of the things in that article, one of the comments was a guy has gone to car shows and stuff and like seeing people do all these things or whatever, and he's gone up and asked people like, oh, how did it fare on the track? Like, how did it, like, hey, I see you got these tires, how do you find them? Or you've done this big brake kit or this turbo or whatever, how do you find it on track? And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't take it to the track. So his issue is like, you know, new vehicles don't need modification because people aren't using the modifications. They're using it for being big time on the street, whatever. So why do you modify? I modify to improve. This car, as much as LHers will not accept it, there is a lot on these cars that requires improvement, be it drivability or just response, stuff like that. To be fair, some of my upgrades that I've done have been from better models of the LH. Like I've got the 300M special sway bars because they're thicker, and I've got those front and rear, and that made a huge difference in how this car handles in the corners. But then I went with the H&R springs, and I went with on top of the H&R springs, I've got or not on top, but with the H&R springs, I have this is a really rough section of road. With the H&R springs, I've got the KYB GR2 struts, slightly better dampening force for cornering, and it does actually, like when I was going out to Lumsden, I hope to make it out there at least once this year, as long as my car decides to not be stupid. I had guys with newer BMWs telling me, you know, your car's really well planted through the corner. So, like, I do push it out there. So, like, it made a huge difference, especially with the seat. The seat's another thing I did because I explained it last time. On track, when I start pushing the car, like, on the street, you don't push your car nearly as hard as you do on the street as you do on the track. So on the street, I never really thought, I was like, whatever, you know, I'll put a racing seat in because it'll be cool to have a racing seat. It wasn't until I actually had it on the track and I discovered getting slammed in the center console and slammed in the door and trying to corner, I was like, this fucking sucks. So the seat made a huge difference because it hugs a whole lot tighter. I went with power slot front rotors because I wanted something better. I got a set, the rotors that are on the rear, I swear, came off of a parts car. They were U-grooved rotors. They looked fine. I've had no issues with them. They've been on the car for like 4 or 5 years now. No issues. I got to do pads soon. But I've got Hawk HPS pads that are a carbon Ferrero compound. They make a little bit of noise, but they bite. They really bite. So, and because the car's not ABS, it's a lot of, like, driving this car is not nearly as easy as people would think it is, because its only real driver's aid is power steering, because they all came with power steering. But there's no traction control, no ABS, so it's a bit of a handful. Like, if you really stomp on it and it's a loose and it's a low traction condition, like if there's gravel or the road is wet, it's darting wherever, like it's torque steering, it's darting wherever, because it's just pulling. So it's kind of nice, but I digress, I suppose. I guess to me, any modification I do needs to improve something, or there are some things I do solely for the benefit of looks. Although on the one side of things, I didn't get the 300M special cluster until after I had the PHP federally unregulated ECM in my car, and when I discovered that the top end, the governor was no longer there. So I was like, that'd be kind of cool to have a speedometer that can go a little bit higher. Not that I've ever gotten it to the top end mark on this speedometer before. But Anyway, so that was more of a, like, I wanted one. I was like, but you know what? If my car can't go faster than 190, I don't want to be teased looking down on it saying it can go, the speedometer saying 240, and knowing that my car cannot physically, because it hits a limiter, it cannot physically go beyond 190, because that would just be annoying. So there's things like that, like little things like that. When I swapped out the harnesses and stuff, I ended up getting the automatic temperature control, which kind of streamlines things. It doesn't work properly because I didn't change the resistor pack, and I'm not buying a new resistor pack because it's like $100 and some bucks. So I was like, I'm okay with having like a medium fan speed and a high fan speed, because that's all it really does. The temperature still works, so it works for me. So other than that, a lot of it has been to improve something. Like, I got the 2-color motif, not because I wanted to stand out and make it be a crowd, whatever. I bought that Gold Parts car for $500 from a dealership because it had a dead BCM, I think is what it was. So it was not economically feasible for them to fix it. So they sold it off cheap to me because I was the only person interested in it. I bought it for front bumper, front fenders, hood, because I needed a hood and I needed a driver's side front fender. And then I decided to throw the bumper on because it had fog lights and the harness was there for the fog lights. So I was like, I wouldn't mind having fog lights for on the highway at night when it's foggy out, because I was daily driving it at the time before I got my bigger truck, and then I got the Colorado now. So it was kind of a little things like that. So, and then, you know, there's the wiring. So I put in the overhead thingy here. It tells me my direction and the outside temperature, which I think is wrong because I think I got to change the sensor, or I've got the sensor in the wrong spot. And then I can see my fuel economy about and stuff like that. There's a timer, but I don't understand the timer because it doesn't make any sense. There's a home link thing for like for garage door openers, which does nothing for me. So it's little things like that don't do anything. Like, there's a few little things that have happened that don't do anything for me. Like, I've got chrome window switches and chrome door handles, chrome door locks, and I've got a chrome shifter coming. That's more for, I just want to dress up the car a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer interior-wise. Again, it's not a big modification, but it's a little bit of a modification. I guess the thing is why do you modify? What do you modify for? Do you modify purely for aesthetic reasons? Is it performance reasons? Or what? Like, I don't mean to sound like a dick or what, but anyway, like, why do you modify? What are you modifying it for? Do you modify it solely so that people stop and stare at it and go, man, that's a good looking car? Or do you do it because you want to you want it to just kind of be recognizable? Or is it like, a lot of what I do usually has a basis behind it. Like, I've got stick-on things on my dash and shit because, well, I needed a mount for my GoPro, or I put this other thing here for so I can hold my phone for data logging, but it's absolute crap. It shakes way too much, so I'm gonna have to figure something else out. I might be able to use it because it's a suction cup, so I might be able to just suction cup it, and then maybe it'll be stiffer. I don't know yet, but yeah, that's it for now. I'm sure there might be more come up. I might do a bit of a walk around a buddy's car later today. Maybe do a feature. I'm not 100% certain just what I'm doing yet. I know I'm going to Regina. I want to get some parts for the Colorado. And then after that, it's kind of just whatever. I do need to get home. I don't want to be too late because I got a bunch of stuff to do tomorrow. So, but yeah, I will. Thanks for checking it out. I still need a catchphrase for at the ending. Like and subscribe if you've liked, and if you want to keep on top of it, hit subscribe. Please share it around. I'm trying to do it. It's getting a little bit easier doing this on a week-to-week basis. I still need to kind of find out what I'm going to do for other things. But I think what I'm going to do is, from now on, for Sunday, I'm going to do a vlog type idea, and then throughout the week I'll try and arrange for other things, so then that way I can do recording on Saturday for a vlog, because it's fairly simple. It's easy. I hop in the car and I go for a drive, or the truck, or the other truck, or whatever else, go for a drive. And then I'm going to start doing like and then I can release features like on like Thursdays or something. I can kind of work on it. I maybe it won't be a weekly thing. It'll be like in every 2 weeks, so then I can kind of sit at home at night and fiddle around with it and get it all figured out, because I do have 2 other jobs. But yeah, I digress. If you've got any ideas for things I should talk about, feel free to let me know. I'll put a link in the description down below for my Facebook page. There'll be my email for emailing me if you have any questions. Anything other than that, it's been awesome. I don't know where I put my remote. There's my remote. Thanks for checking it out. Please like, subscribe, share. If you like it. Subscribe if you haven't, and share. The more views, the better for me, and the better for me. And the more views, the more apt I am to want to start doing more and more stuff. So I'm sure we'll have some fun. Summer is coming. We got events coming up. It's going to be turned into a wonderful, amazing spring, and then summer. We're halfway through April already. So then we got dyno, and then defrost and drifting, and then we've got drags. So rapid fire 3 weeks. I should be able to get some footage. Hopefully something goes right and I can get some footage of something. So until then, I will talk to you guys later.